Hi, it's Destro7000 here. It seems like it's been a while since I've done a kind of vlog-like video for my channel. I seem to have been doing quite a lot of hiking vids on Dartmoor and gaming vids in recent times, and it's kind of a shame that I haven't done enough of my kind of vlog talking to camera pieces or film reviews or things like that. It might be to do with my situation and things, but hopefully I can kind of rectify that a little bit and do a few more talky vids. I suppose the nearest I got was my recent huge reading videos of H.G. Wells novels, two of them, Time Machine and War of the Worlds, which I really enjoyed doing, but it's basically just me reading from a script, not really ad-libbing or talking from my mind, I guess, or self-expressing. So forgive the weird background. I'm at work today between customers. Yeah, so I'm at work today and my phone has broken. It seems to be motherfucker. Yeah, my phone is kind of broken at the moment, and it's not charging, it's not holding charge very much, and it's charging but only at like a trickle. So I'm gonna try and replace the cable for it tomorrow, but I have a feeling it might be the phone itself, which means I have to buy a whole new phone, which is a pain in the ass. And it seems very much to me like planned obsolescence or something, which I think wasn't Apple proven to do. Not that my phone is an Apple phone, but I think other tech companies, it was found out that they were doing planned obsolescence for real. I'm not surprised that that is some sort of business method to make you buy people's products, like it's programmed into the product that it will fail, and so you'll have to go and buy a new one at a certain time. I think that's bullshit, but they can sort of get away with it because they've forced us to a position where tons of stuff in our life is made to rely on these little smartphones. Like, they put your music player on it, they put your internet on it, they put your way of communicating with your family on it, like everything in this little box. And so they can sort of enslave people in that way to a certain degree and sort of run their lives. I don't like that. These people, they probably know how much power they have over the regular person. It's a pain in the ass, and I kind of hate smartphones, but at the same time there are a few features on there that just allow me to communicate with people I know and stuff. Yeah, it seems like a bit of a manipulation, to be honest. Until I get myself properly set up, I'm still going to be using a smartphone and relying on various internet services. It seems really hard to actually withdraw from the internet, to be honest. And I'd really like to do it one day, but at the same time there's just a few services here and there that are on the internet that I'd like to keep. Like, obviously I upload YouTube videos right now, but also you book your travels online, don't you? It's these days they're trying to make it so that everyone books travel online and stuff. You can't. I think it's rarer that someone goes down to the high street to book a holiday or something, or does more spontaneous travelling. So we all rely on these kind of internet things, but I just have this kind of dream in my mind, like, not like of an Amish lifestyle necessarily, because I do like bits of technology here and there, but some kind of neo-Luddite kind of, if you get enough things that are local to you and that are just make up your life that you can access, that are right there with you in your home and stuff and in your neighbourhood, then you wouldn't have to have an internet. You could just live life without it, sort of thing. And I know a lot of people are trying to control us and move us into this life where we have to depend on the internet and we have to depend on these kind of Silicon Valley tech corporations and stuff to live our lives. And that's not good. Don't like that very much. That's a bit of a ramble anyway. There's tons of things I wish I could talk about on my channel, but just it's so chaotic and crazy these days, and stuff just passes me by, and I'm not in a good place to express myself about it, but I want to talk about so many things, and they pass me by, or I never have enough time to actually devote my clarity of mind to thinking out a video or something to discuss a point like that that's going on in the world. But the world's fucking crazy right now. So many bad things are happening, and that's just contributing to various bouts of depression that I have, and not finding enough time to focus on video making in the same way that I used to. It's sort of easier sometimes to do a quick gaming video, or I know that I'm kind of doing hikes with Dad once a week or something, and I'm glad that I got him out walking and stuff, even though we haven't had much of a summer. Again, that's kind of an easy video, because I go on the hike and I just film what I see, and it's like a very basic travel video without much thought behind it, I'm going to this place, I'm going to show you what this place is like, maybe you want to go to this place. Very simple kind of format. Whereas when I did the film reviews, and even when I did vlogs like this, it takes a little bit more editing and thought, and sometimes planning and stuff like that. So it's rarer that I do this sort of thing. So at the moment there's a lot of good video makers on YouTube who I'm inspired by. Some of them not actually on YouTube but on other sites, but they make videos and things. One thing about the people I watch and am inspired by is that they don't necessarily agree with each other, which I think is a good thing. So a lot of the people I watch, a few of them tend to kind of hate each other, but I still love their content and I watch their stuff. For instance, it's probably no big secret that I watch Harmful Opinions quite a lot, and then I also watch Razor Fist, and I also watch Sargon, and I also watch Armored Skeptic, and Chew on Head, and Bearing, and Count Dankula, and a few of these people disagree with each other quite a lot. For news, I quite like watching Styx, Hex and Hammer at the moment, and of course Tim Pool, although he is pumping out videos like no tomorrow, and it's almost too much. He's almost becoming his own 24-hour news cycle at this stage. Omegon is also a very good news commentary channel at the moment, so I'm quite enjoying his videos. And since I've been doing hiking videos and stuff, I just found a new channel called Summit or Nothing, who does good hiking videos, and kind of I think he lives in the local area actually. He's been up more peaks than me, but he's doing very similar videos to me in terms of hiking around Dartmoor and stuff, except he's got slightly better quality than mine are. I think he puts a lot more effort into the format, shall we say, than I do. So yeah, he's I think his name's Trevor. He's pretty good to watch lately for that purpose. Obviously some of these channels all come from different kind of walks of life, all sorts of different kinds of content. I love all the kind of edgy, dark humour and proper humour and stuff that comes with gamers and commentators like Razor Fist and Harmful Opinions. They all have this proper ability to kind of make you laugh and give great banter and stuff. Although you can't really put some of these creators side by side because they're just so different from each other. But at the same time, that's the kind of thing, if you can even group it as a kind of thing, that I like to watch and listen to on YouTube and Twitch and stuff. I love Chris Reagan, but he just hardly puts out anything for ages. I think people are quite used to the fact that he only does like one video a month or something now. But he started doing a podcast with his flatmate dude, Tom Sweeney, and he normally has a guest on or something. And their humour is just like a kind of humour that I used to love, that used to be a bit more offbeat, nonsense humour, spontaneous, like just crazy, out there kind of thinking. Yeah, they started doing this podcast. What's the podcast called? The Snark Tank, I think it is. It took a long time to get off the ground, and he's only done like 3 or 4 episodes so far. But it's fantastic whenever they do one, because you just can't stop laughing. It's a shame there aren't more of those. I also really love listening to the TISM podcast, TISM. It's short for autism, but at the same time it's short for The Incredible Salt Mine. And that's a podcast Count Dankula and Bearing are doing together with this other guy, like this card game guy. And they're always really fun to listen to, and Count Dankula and Bearing just both got married as well. So good on them, congratulations. I really loved watching Bearing for years now. And Count Dankula, obviously he's like the free speech martyr guy, and he's really funny as well. And I don't put much stock in these past TV comedians who are hating on the new breed of new media comedians like Dankula, just saying they're not funny and stuff, because they're fucking funny. They've been outdone, basically, the TV comedians, and they don't even know it, and they want to stop people thinking that comedy online is real comedy, but it is, so get fucked. Basically, there seems to be just a big trend of dumbing down humour that's on TV, and it's all got a left-wing bias, and it's just completely horrible now. You've got Joe Brand and Russell Howard and so many comedians that you could name, just tame humour and political bias stuff, where a lot of it's just like based on Trump derangement syndrome, and like, haha, orange man bad, am I right? And the crowd laughs, and there's very kind of collectivist kind of humour, like they're just laughing because it's like, oh, these people are on our side, but like no actual joke has been made, and no humour has actually been, like, it's just so stale, there's nothing to laugh at anymore. I think there's so much strength now in shock humour and offbeat humour, it's kind of dark humour and being offensive. There's so much strength in that now because of how the SJWs have like tried to bar it from life. Most of them seem to have this mental block where they're unable to meme, and so it's just this running theme that the left are very humourless. I say the left, I mean I'm talking about the far left, because I'm still centre left right now, but I think it's better for me to think of myself as a centrist right now, because, my God, they're crazy. Anything to do with the left has just been tainted, and I kind of wish I could become non-political again, but I've been sucked into this now, and it's like some sort of trap. There's no way out of politics once it gets you, I think. I mean, I'd like to revert to normieism, if that is a thing. I'd like to become non-political again. And I kind of think that's what Vernaculus was doing for a while. I quite like Vernaculus, and he seemed to be like non-political, or he seemed to like be sucked into politics and kept trying to find a way to get out of it again. And I think I'm kind of in that similar frame of mind, I think, where I don't want to identify as right or left or centrist or anything, but it kind of puts you in a box just fighting against a certain kind of ideas. I don't know. The present or the future is a mess right now. My number one sadness about all that has happened in the recent years, since around 2009, with this great regression, as I like to call it, is that we no longer have freedoms. We're all under some huge level of control, and it's getting worse. My number two sadness is that nearly all the culture, like the media culture of my youth, and like all the actors that I used to love, have all fallen and been corrupted to the far left, and it's just horrible. And it's very difficult for me to enjoy quite a lot of things from my past that I grew up with, I guess. I mean, I can enjoy certain parts of them to an extent, but a lot of pieces of them here and there have been soured and stuff by recent events, like long after they were created. Like, we're talking things like Star Wars and Heat and tons of different 90s movies and 80s movies, especially with remake culture and all that. And then there's comics, comic book superheroes, just tons of actors and stuff who I used to be like, oh, I love that actor's portrayal of these characters in the movie, and now they're going around doing street activism and making themselves look like a horrible fucking person by advocating violence against people. And yeah, that's maybe the second worst thing that has come out of the SJWs, is just how they can corrupt your past like that. They can take the things you love and there's a screaming kiddie outside. Could you just maybe perhaps don't? Could you maybe don't? Yeah, the way they're able to corrupt culture like that is just a horrible aspect of everything that's happened. And here's a thought. For anyone who's read The Time Machine or has listened to my read-throughs of The Time Machine, I always used to think of the Eloi and the Morlocks in terms of, okay, these are the evolutions of humans in the far future, so far as Wells' book fictionally depicts. And the Morlocks are meant to have evolved from, like, the working class, and the Eloi are meant to have evolved from, like, the upper class. Like, humans would splinter off into the decadent weaklings who have everything made for them but are like the rich, and the cannibalistic, monstrous, thuggish people underground working the factories, producing the clothes, producing the food for the upper people, and then the upper class people act as cattle for the Morlocks to eat, basically, while the Morlocks are providing their happy lifestyle of kind of just blissing out and having fun and living in gardens and sunshine and all this kind of double existence sort of thing of these two halves of humanity that need each other but also kind of have this weird separate interaction with each other. Maybe it's not about working class and upper class. Maybe it could be like, I could see that being a forecast of the division between far left SJWs and the kind of centre and rights in the far future. Like, you could imagine those two halves splintering off from each other. I could see ways in which that could also be analogous to Wells' two species of human, you know. Not saying I'd eat an SJW or provide for them. I can see a split happening between two halves of humanity if we keep going separate ways like this, where one would become like this weak race of people who just get given everything by the hard workers somewhere else who get put down and trodden on and stuff, and then this weird symbiosis happens between them. Weirdly prescient, but at the same time you can't really trust futurism. The future never turns out how you imagine it to be. People are all on about robots and the singularity and space travel and stuff, and it's like humans are trying to make the future become like all their various fictional depictions of the future. And I think we're going to see a future that ends up nothing like we're anticipating. Like nothing like any fiction we've written could adequately explain. It would be like dirtier, more complicated, not what anyone's expecting. We might not go to space and colonize the universe. Robots might not take over. We might not advance and evolve and the world might not end in the way we're imagining. Like, all these things. I used to be heavily into futurism and stuff. That's why I always read Wells and Clarke and people like this, because I love their kind of visions of what the future could be. You know, the utopias, the dystopias. But I don't think we could write what it really will be, honestly. Not that we're going to be around to see it, but I mean, we're in one kind of dystopia now, but I think there are echoes of it in fiction like 1984 and stuff. But at the same time, I don't think anyone's fully predicted the confusion and the chaos of what it actually is. Anyway, I'm going to shut this ramble down now. My goal was to talk for a bit about what I've been doing, and I guess shine some light on a few of the channels that I've been watching in the meantime. You should also check out Matty Ace Gaming, kind of a based Swedish dude. Kevin's Corner, Sugar Tits Bear, and Red Letter Media. That's all I can think of off the top of my head for some people I watch. I'll try to do a few more vloggy things like this. Maybe the odd kind of political video. I know my channel isn't generally full of political videos these days, but every time I seem to make one, my views kind of shoot up for that particular video. I think it's just part of the nature of doing that sort of thing. And then my travel videos and my gaming videos hardly get anything, which is a shame. And my readings and my film reviews, those are the ones I'd kind of like to have views for, but it tends to be the political talky videos for some reason. But yeah, I'd like to do a few more vloggy things like this and film reviews, but I know I'll be continuing to do my hiking and gaming videos, so I'll still be around doing that sort of thing anyway. So catch you all later, and I hope summer frigging shows up in 2019 at some point. Ciao.
So good to be back, boys. Sorry sorry for the strange absence.
No, fuck you, get out.
I got married. I'm now officially bearing tits. Officially.
So, I mean, who caught the buffet? Bouquet. That's what I'm gonna do at my wedding, man. I'm just gonna yeet the fucking buffet in. Someone's gonna get fucking smashed over the head with a tray of vegetable pakora.